All right, what's good, YouTube? This is Charles, the face of Trade Tables, and we are here with our friend John, who's been playing Ghoti today and got top 8 at locals. Let's see his deck profile.
To start with, I have just 6 hand traps total. Ultimately, these are just in here because I am playing Crossout, and they're just decent things to hit. In the future, I'm never going to play any of these again. And anyone who thinks that Ash should be in the main right now is just fire propaganda. They simply want you to Ash so that they can steal it with Hida and make a princess, like a certain someone did to me today.
What are we talking about?
I only did top 8 because I kept breaking on these, which really sucks because a lot of the cards in here are 2-card combos, and so when I'm sitting here with a handful of hand traps, they don't do anything. So I don't want these anymore. I opted to go with the white engine instead of the Supe engine, primarily because it kind of extends a little bit more. This is the new circular because for some reason we needed to ban Mathmech circular and then give an even better fish version that has its own tanky to search it. This gives you not only access to your main level 6 synchro, but also extra bodies to continue to extend up through at least a level 8 synchro just off the cards themselves. This is a lot more searchable than this is, but that's what these are here for. They just search these. For the actual Ghotis tuners, I play 3 of the Paces, 2 of the Sheaf, and then 2 of the Zeep. I would love to not have to play Zeep at 2 because it oftentimes is pretty dead. The bottom ones will all bring themselves back during the standby phase after they're banished. He brings himself back immediately after banish, but only on the opponent's turn, which is both awesome and terrible at the same time because there's so many times I want that extra body to be able to synchro with, and I don't get it, but at the same time, it's one of the best ways to be able to access the quick synchro without your opponent being able to respond in between. For the other Ghoti monsters I play 1 of each of the new ones and 1 of each of the other old ones, aside from the other level 6. This card is busted. It searches any fish type monster when it's normal or special summon, and then when it's banished, it just summons itself back for free. You banish a fish from your grave, which just triggers more. This one tags out. When your opponent special summons, you target the monster they summoned and then 1 of your level 6 or lower fish monsters. Banish this and your opponent's monster and then summon that other level 6 back, which then can trigger more stuff. This one I just kind of like. And then there are often times where you just need to either chain block things or get a free E-Tele body, which is what Ixip does. When a fish is banished, you summon him. For the non-Ghoti fish, 3 of absolutely the best card in this deck, Abyss Shark. If you control water, you can special summon him and search a level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster, which is either going to be your Ixip, your Sunfish, or the 2 lifeless leaf fish that you end up playing, which was the OG starter for this deck. But really, it just gives additional extenders. It makes it so really any water monster plus this is going to be able to at least have 2+ interruptions on your opponent's turn, which is pretty nice for a deck that minuses a lot. For the spells, I play 3 of the field spell. I hate this card. The other reason I bricked a lot was when I never saw it, or only saw it. You banish a fish from your hand or your graveyard to search a Ghoti monster. It has other effects that are never relevant. It's really just there to help search things, but more so it's to help trigger a lot of your Ghoti stuff in the grave to keep your recursion going. It's definitely a struggle when you don't see it, but today I saw all of them all the time and hated myself. After that, the 3 Crossout. So I absolutely despise this card. I never have it when I get hand trapped, and when I do have it, I never get hand trapped, and so I think it's awful. However, in this deck, it's pretty nice because not only can it stop the hand traps that actually stop you, like Nib or Imperm and sometimes Ash, but if they don't end up stopping you during the end phase, you can activate it and call 1 of your tuners that summons during the standby phase. It'll be negated for that turn, but then come the standby phase of your opponent's turn, they summon for free, and so it helps you get access to all of your other guys. So it's both a consistency card while also a protection card. I saw it maybe twice today, so not that important. And the last 4 are a triple tactic engine. 2 thrust, target for if you get stopped going second, target for if you get stopped going first. This is kind of a little E-Tele. You banish a fish type monster you control, and then you summon a Ghoti monster from your hand, deck, graveyard, or banished. And so it's just another way to get access primarily to Keith. And since Keith needs a banished fish and this banishes one automatically, it's a way to get it turned on pretty easily if you get stopped. That's it for the main deck. It's just normal 40. For the extra deck, you're a little limited because several of the cards end up water locking you. And so for the most part, it's just a lot of random good water synchros with a couple cards that come up every once in a while. But for the 6s, you have your key card, Arion Post. On Synchro Summon, it banishes a Ghoti monster from your deck. And then when it is sent to the grave as synchro material, you banish a fish type monster from your grave to search any fish type monster from your deck of the same level or lower. And so it just continues to build everything up. A card I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to play was White Aura Porpoise. This is kind of here to help you level climb with synchros if you end up getting a little stuck with your levels, because a White Aura can generally get up to either an 8 or a 10, because when it's summoned, you summon one of your level 4 or lower fish from your grave, and then you can summon another one of the same name from your grave. So it's one way to bring back like 2 of your sardines and then just keep playing. All of the white monsters, when they're summoned from the graveyard, can be treated as tuners. For the 8s, I play 2 of the Asken. When this card synchro summon, you banish a fish type monster you control and a card your opponent controls, and then if it's banished, you can banish a fish from your grave to summon it back. So oftentimes you're synchroing into him, you're banishing him and another, and then once he's banished, you just banish a fish from your grave to summon it back. So he's, for the most part, a free banish. 1 Dragite for your turn 1. None of these others really do anything on your first turn. They're all just interacting with your opponent, and so being able to at least build something to help is kind of nice. And this turns off things like Book of Moons and more so Book of Eclipse and Evenlies. 1 White Aura Whale. This card's a board wipe. When it's synchro summon, you blow up all your opponent's attack position monsters. It can make 2 attacks on monsters per battle phase and inflicts piercing. And then if it is destroyed by your opponent's card, you can summon it from the grave as a tuner. For the 10s, I play a lot. The other card you end on going first is whatever this thing's called. Just additional interruptions, another banish, non-targeting, which can be pretty helpful. One of the main Ghoti boss monster, which is a complete banish board wipe. And so oftentimes you wait for your opponent to commit and then you synchro on their turn with him and banish everything off the field. He'll come back during the standby phase, and then he gains 500 attack for every monster that's banished. So he gets real big and then just kind of swings in. I've thought about playing 2 of them. There's times I miss a second one, and then there's times I really don't. 1 Chingying. I play Chingying because it's a water. Banishing is kind of what this deck does, so it's pretty easy to trigger, but more so I just needed more waters to be able to go into. The only one I play that isn't a water is I play 1 Baron, primarily just to start my next turn off, because usually you're going to have a level 8 like your Asken and a level 2 tuner coming back, and so you can immediately synchro into this and then play, because none of them really lock you into waters for the turn. It's just after their effects resolve. For the links, I play 3. First one being Quarrel Anemone. This is one of the main cards for the combo. You bring back any water with 1500 or less attack. You're waterlocked, but who cares? And so this is one of the things that you continue to use to bring back your white fish so that they can be tuners and continue to play. 1 Abyss Keeper. 2 effects, both were really helpful today. First one on summon, you can special summon a fish type monster from your hand to a zone he points to, and then the other effect is you can target a fish type monster you control other than him and a card your opponent controls, and then banish both. So he's a little bit of spot removal while also helping extend through things. He's what allows the Abyss Shark to be a water plus him full combo. And then 1 SP. This is primarily in there for when I need to take monsters. Hopefully I don't get waterlocked. I didn't make it at all today. And then 1 Typhon, kind of the same reason. Sometimes you're going to be stuck with little itty bitty monsters, and being able to make them is kind of helpful. It didn't really happen a whole lot today, and at the same time, when it did, it got popped by a remnant card, so who cares. Side deck, a couple more hand traps, 2 more nib, the 3 imperm, and then everything that says screw your graveyard. So we have 3 shifter, 3 defissure. I play 2 anti-spell because going first I side out my imperms, and this is just one of the best things to side in to stop any counters or to counter side for, because things like Super Poly and Book of Eclipse and all of those things will just eat up your board, and so during draw phase you'll activate this, and then during standby all your stuff comes back, so they don't have the chance to activate anything. Last 2 cards are 2 more thrust targets, both for back row hate, 1 Duster and then 1 Evenly.
Cool. All right, well, thanks for that. And this is Charles, the Face of Trade Tables, signing out. Peace.